Things must be pretty bad at Microsoft right now. Their CEO, Satya Nadella, is basically begging you to use their AI slop. Yes, he's begging you to use the MICROSLOP, the Copilot AI, because if you don't use it, guys, oh my God, what's going to happen? The AI bubble is going to burst. What are we going to do? I mean, they're basically pinning all their hopes and dreams on this AI product that nobody wants. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. God, it's insane to see just how far these companies are veering off course from what their original goals were, right? They're all chasing AI, and they're all becoming like uniproduct at this point, because Photoshop is going all in on AI too. It's like, well, what's the purpose of buying an art tool or a photography tool if it can make the art for you, right? And Microsoft, it's an operating system. No. We're going to control your computer and also spy on you and push AI. It's like, it's all the same thing, right? Anybody that goes all in on AI, you're just an AI company. And, like all the computing is just kind of gelling into a gray goo at this point. And I don't really like that. Again, I've said before, I do like AI as a tool. I do not like it being forced on you if you don't want it. I think you should, opt in, obviously. But I don't like the fact that all these tech companies that used to offer different software products for different things are all becoming very homogenous. It's all becoming just this pile of slop, MicroSlop, and it's everybody. It's not just Microsoft, but they're one of the worst offenders, because your MicroSlop is what's probably running your computer, and therefore it has access to pretty much everything you do. If you're smart, you will jump ship to Linux. I'm just saying. Or Microsoft will pull its head out of its ass and come out with an operating system that is just an operating system and not spyware, and not trying to run your computer for you. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. They spent way too much money on this, and I don't think there's any coming back from it, unless consumers just absolutely revolt and say, hey, we're just not going to do this. I don't know. I think a lot of people talk big, but they're not willing to make the switch. And I think beyond that, I think that people are dumb and lazy, and they're just going to run whatever comes on their computer. And if all the computers are shipping with the MicroSlop, that's what you're getting. But won't you think of the poor Microsoft employees, guys? You might put them out of work if you don't consume our AI products that you don't want. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV. We do not have super chats on this channel. If you'd like to support us, we really do appreciate it. Go out to more.clownfishtv.com. Here we go. Microsoft CEO has warned people must do something useful with AI before it loses public support. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Satya Nadella added, we will quickly lose even the social permission to take something like energy, which is a scarce resource. Now, this is all about him being very cognizant of the public's perception of Windows 11 and Copilot, and it's not good, right? I mean, this was just a couple of months ago from Windows Central. Forget Windows Central, which is a Windows-focused blog. Forget Windows 11's intrusive ads. Microsoft integrates showroom ads in Copilot AI, simulating brick-and-mortar stores with a virtual brand rep expected to join soon. So it's basically becoming another platform to just market you shit. It stopped being an operating system. It's kind of like Roku TVs. Like I loved Roku TVs, the TCL TVs. We have several of them, throughout the house, and we used to have them in our gaming center. We had the gaming center. We used to, we had a bunch up on the wall or whatever. Well, somewhere along the line, they decided it wasn't good enough to just, give you the ability to watch TV. They also had to sell you shit too. So they started adding more and more ads to the home screen. I'm like, I don't want the ads. I just want to watch Retro Crush. That's all I want to do. I just want to watch TV. I don't want the, no, it's everywhere. And you pause, and there's a freaking ad on there. Hulu is one of the worst, man. Hulu is horrible. Like, Hulu is an ad-riddled nightmare. You rewind a show, and they're going to run another ad. You pause, there's an ad and a QR code on the screen. It's ridiculous, but that's what they want Windows to be. So your operating system, you don't even really own it. You're just kind of leasing it. At that point, just freaking get Yahoo Mail or some shit like that, and you can go out and check your email online and have your eyes burnt with a bunch of blinking banner ads and crap. Becomes unusable at that point. But it's gotten so bad that there are apps out there, again, to take the ads and the AI off of Windows. And these are things that should not be in Windows at all. Again, Windows is an operating system. It's not a website. It's not a mobile app, and that's what they're turning it into. But they're putting all this shit into your operating system. And it's all about maximum profits, right? It's so ridiculous. It's just do what you're supposed to do, which is run the computer, make the computer usable. If you want to upsell people and they choose to download an app that runs some, slop ads or whatever, that's on them. But right out of the box, it should not be trying to upsell you this shit. And you can go get WinSlop, and it is going to remove the built-in things that should not have been there in the first place. And this is just a couple days ago. Tired of Copilot? WinSlop lets you easily purge Windows 11's AI features. And again, if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, I will highly recommend migrating to Linux Mint. I've moved several of our computers over to Mint. I love it. It feels like old school Windows before they tried to overstep, and that's what Windows is doing. So let's go out to this article here. He added, this is Satya Nadella. He added, we have to get to a point where AI is used for changing the outcomes of people, community, countries, and industries. Oh, that's not dystopian at all. All right. So this comes from Deserto. AI will lose public support over massive energy use. No, he's pissed off because, and that's true, it will. But he's pissed off because people aren't adopting it as fast as they thought. And I did a video yesterday talking about OpenAI. They're probably going to go bankrupt within 18 months if they don't find a buyer or get some massive windfall, because they're making money, but they're spending much, much more than they're making. And I don't think there really is an end game. I think this is all smoke and mirrors. I think that, again, I think AI is useful, but I think it's being oversold. And CEOs are starting to realize that it's not magic. It doesn't do everything. And even some of what it does, a lot of what it doesn't do terribly well unless you have a human operator. And at that point, what is the purpose? If you have to have a human babysit it anyway or do extensive rewrites or whatever, what is the purpose, right? All right, Deserto. Microsoft CEO has issued a warning about the future of AI, saying the technology risks losing public support if it fails to deliver benefits that justify its growing energy demands. Just if it fails to deliver benefits, that would put a period there. That would be it. As AI continues to grow, concerns around electricity usage, data center expansion, and environmental impacts have intensified. He's pissed off probably because Trump is making Microsoft pay for their own shit. They were going to pass the buck on the consumers. The electric bills are going through the roof. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, I keep thinking it's Satya Nutella, but he has now addressed this issue, stating that enthusiasm for AI is not guaranteed and that public tolerance depends on whether the technology produces real-world outcomes and not just for future promises. Yeah. Speaking at the World Economic Forum, Davos. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, Nadella made it clear that the usefulness of AI will ultimately decide whether society continues to accept the cost of powering it. I think we as a global community have to get to a point where we're using this to do something useful that changes the outcomes of people, communities, countries, and industries. Otherwise, I don't think it makes sense. He then pointed directly to energy consumption as a potential breaking point for public trust if AI fails to prove its value. In fact, I would say we will quickly lose even the social permission to actually take something like energy, which is a scarce resource. Doesn't have to be. We've got a sun just sitting right there, I'm just saying. And use it to generate these tokens. If these tokens are not improving health outcomes, education outcomes, public sector efficiency, private sector competitiveness, across all sectors, small and large, right? Yes, we want our AI shit in everything. We want teaching your children. We want it prescribing medication. We want it controlling your life. We want Mother Brain. Remember Phantasy Star 2? That's like one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. It was actually my first JRPG. Mother Brain controlled everything until she got some PMS and decided she was going to wreck the entire solar system. Hilarity ensues. Oh, yeah, and everybody dies at the end. So Nadella's comments carry added weight given Microsoft's central role in the AI boom. Yes, it's all about you better use Copilot, guys, or we might go bankrupt and shit. With the company pouring billions into OpenAI, yes, and rapidly expanding its global data center footprint to support tools like ChatGPT and Copilot. It's going to be really interesting because I think what's going to happen is Microsoft is going to absorb OpenAI. And I mean, we're gonna have it's not just slop, it's super slop. I think that's the only way forward. But I think what's gonna happen is all of these AI companies are gonna congeal, like I said, into that gray goo. That's what they should just call the company, gray goo, because it just kind of does whatever. But I could see Adobe getting absorbed at some point too, because how can they compete? Like, what is the purpose of you having photo editing software if people can just type in a few prompts and get the same result, right? Like what do you do at that point? And I think a lot of these software companies are going to have an existential crisis, unless of course it's just not worth it. And it could be that AI is an incredibly powerful tool that comes at a great price, and it actually at that point is cheaper to hire humans back. And I think that might actually happen. I really think that the AI purge was all about just saving as much money as possible for the future promise of profit, right? And I think CEOs are wising up to that. I think investors are wising up to it. And I think we'll see a lot of people get hired back if AI does go bust. And I think AI will find its place. I think it's going to be a tool. I think it has to be consensual. You don't want a Copilot in your shit unless you ask it. Invite it in like a freaking vampire. Like, okay, Copilot, I give you permission to go through my personal photos. But yeah, I think the public is rejecting it, not because of the energy. It has nothing to do with the electric bill. They don't want you poking around in their private shit. They don't want you training your AI on their stuff, without asking them. If it's consensual, that's fine. But it's like, it really is like digital molestation in a way. It's very, very intrusive. People aren't asking for it. It's just getting foisted on them. And yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of people switch. Again, the people that just out of the box, buy their computer, plug it in, grandma, whatever. She's going to be stuck with Copilot. She's not going to know how to get rid of it. Tell her she can de-slopify it very, very easily. Just download whatever app you want to use, like this app. Clip Champ. What the hell is that? Clitware. What is that? What are these names? Here's a bloatware. Oh my God. Yeah, those are probably real names of real applications because they just pull this crap out of thin air. But there you go, guys. Please, please, please use AI, because if you don't, the public might turn on it. And, what are we going to do? Because that's what we're betting the farm on. So I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.